it's Chris here, and today I'm going to go over and discuss my get home bag. Now in today's review, I'm going to be breaking my bag down piece by piece and showing you what's in my bag, what I chose, but for everyone else who can't afford or don't like my options, I mean, honestly, feel free to pick whatever works for you and you feel the most comfortable with. Now, just to be clear, this get home bag is a get home bag. This is a basic bare bones bag. It is not very large. We're going to use my little trusty tape measure. From end to end, this is only 16 inches long and weighs less than 15 pounds. This is not a heavy kit, and it is very mobile and very easy to carry. This is the Condor Compact Assault Pack, and to keep it in frame, because as you guys know, I do not have a professional camera rig yet, I have it laid down to the side, but I'm going to take this bag and move it off to the side, and then we're going to break every piece pack by section by section so you guys can check it out. Now I'm going to give you guys a quick overview of the outside. Using the Tech Lock, I have the BlackHeartKnives Gunner 12. If I could only carry one tool, this would be my one tool option. Now I know not everybody has the opportunity to have one of these. I got very, very blessed and very lucky to have this in my life, in my collection, or on my channel. So it was, you know, I wouldn't have gotten this under normal circumstances. Not as soon as I have it. But then when we turn it around, there are plenty of other knives that are really stout and really sturdy that you can use that are much more budget friendly. Then on the outside, I have part of my rig for my emergency shelter. And then on this side, I've got my military grade compass. Now without wasting any more time, I'm going to set my actual pack off to the side, and I'm going to be breaking it down from the small pouch, front pouch, the second largest section in the middle, and then the main compartment where my shelter kit actually is. Now as an overview, one more time, these are the tools and the equipment that I have on the outside of my pack. It's very minimal, there's not a lot going on. This is the Gunner 12 by BlackHeartKnives. It is 0.28 inches thick on the spine. It's a 6.7.5 inch blade. It has a true 0-degree convex grind. Very good ergonomic handles. It's A2 tool steel, so it's going to be very, very strong, very sturdy. It has a Rockwell hardness of 60. And I chose this because I wanted an absolute one-tool option if I couldn't bring anything else. I didn't have time, don't have the weight, the space, anything. And where everything else broke, that wouldn't. Secondly, over here, I have the Cammenga, or the Cammenga, either way. Model 27, US-made military compass. It's very similar to the actual military issue ones that I had when I was in the military. And so I'm very, very comfortable and very knowledgeable in how to use it. And I want something as nice as those cool little clamshell compasses are. And I mean, they work. But if I get into a situation where, you know, I get a little roughed up for any reason, from falling, slipping, getting hurt, any occasion, I want to make sure that I'm going to have a sturdy compass that's going to have my back no matter what. And finally, I have I would say the guts, the foundation of my emergency shelter. I've got some tarp clamps here. Then these are some screw down carabiners that are rated to hold up to 880 pounds. I have a figure 9 carabiner, which is good to strap down paracord without having to use up and destroy the actual length that I cut out to build my shelter when I connect them between two trees. I've got a spool tool and 100 feet of paracord and a Bic lighter. So that's on the front of my pack. Let's move on. Now before we move on, I want to give you guys a couple more examples of some really great tools and knives that you can use in exchange of a knife such as the Gunner 12. First, these go in no particular order of size or price, but these are all much more budget-friendly blades that are extremely durable, and I would trust them if I had to use them. First, we've got the SCHF10 by Schrade. Alternatively, you could use the SCHF26, which is not shown. Another blade favorite of mine is the Schrade SCHF10. This is a very stout stainless steel blade. Another is the cold steel Bushman Bowie. The reason why I like this knife, even though it is thinner, it's extremely durable, made of SK5 high carbon steel. It's very versatile in its uses and abilities, and I'd have no issues or trouble, and it's a very lightweight knife. Next, I've got the Ka-Bar Becker Famine Tanto. A lot of people blow this knife off because it is a zombie killer, but this knife is amazing. I haven't got to do a full review on this knife yet, but I have used it out in the field, and it is incredible. I love this knife. It's in the size range. It is a one-man wrecking crew, and it's completely badass. Next, we're going to move up in size just a little bit to a very, very, very famous and very familiar blade. This is the Ka-Bar Becker BK9. Alternatively, for a smaller size blade, you could use the Becker BK7 or even BK2. The entire line of those three knives are just ridiculous. And finally, as an example, this is probably the largest of the whole bunch. There's oil on this, so don't mind. But this is the Kershaw Camp 10. This is a very impressive blade. This would be a really good one-man tool, a one-tool option if you needed it. Yeah, sure, you can do all the finer options, but dude, this will wreck some shit, and it's extremely sharp. And its cousin, the Camp 14, proved its sharpness on my finger, so I can vouch for the sharpness of these blades right out of the box. Alright guys, the next part of the pack that we are going to dive into is the small little rectangle pouch that is on the very top of the backpack that it doesn't hold a lot. This is all I can carry. I've got, moving from right to left, I've got the Fenix PD35. Alternatively, you can use the P12 by Nightcore, the Through Night TN12, any flashlight of that nature. I like these because they're extremely bright flashlights. They fit really well in the hand. They take either 18650 or CR123 alpha batteries, and they have plenty of modes, strobe, signaling devices. They're really, really handy, and they will save your ass when you need them. I've got a spare pack of batteries for those, so I have up to, these take 2 each, so I have up to 5 refills with this 10-pack. I've got a Carpenters pencil sharpener. It's much wider than a normal pencil sharpener, and it goes in deeper. So I chose this one for a specific reason. So if I'm out in the field and I gotta make 10 stakes because my kit broke or I lost it or anything of that nature, or if I'm gonna be making hunting arrows or improvised spears for fishing, anything of that nature, this thing will give me a much tougher spear point, and it'll be longer and broader, and this is a much more durable, but you can still use a standard pencil sharpener and you're good to go. And finally, I have a 2-ounce bottle that is sealed wrapped of Pure L hand sanitizer. One is good to keep myself clean if I can't take showers for a few days, but more importantly, it is a good accelerant for fire starting. Now let's move on to the next part. Alright guys, as you guessed, the next section is just a little bit bigger. It's the section directly below, but it's still on the top of the pack. The Condor Compact Assault Pack has 2 sections on the very top. That really small one that we just went over, and this one. From first glance, it's very obvious of what I've got. I have 2 complete fire starting kits and fat wood on a stick. Both of these came from easyfirestarting.com, and this one is the Light My Fire, if I'm not mistaken. I have the Tactical LD02 Field Sharpener by Lansky. It's more like a very large fat pen, and it fits really nicely in my pack, so I don't have to worry about it taking up too much space. Is it perfect? No. Will it probably ruin the convex grind on the blade that I picked? Probably, but it's better than nothing. Moving on, I've got a small little baggie of jute cord that I've already kind of pre-cut up. Inside here, I'll break this open in a second, and the last overview. This is a pack of 40 birthday candles and a lighter that has been water resistant, sealed with a few small bags, and it holds in these nice little tin. You can use Altoid tins, anything of that nature. Next, I have a pack of 28 Vaseline soaked cotton balls. These things are excellent fire starters. I have them triple bagged because I don't want them getting messed up or ruined or dried out or anything of that nature. I want these to be as effective as possible when I need them. And finally, to get myself started in the very beginning of my journey for getting myself back to safety, I have 4 packets of emergency drinking water. This is not designed to last forever, but it's something to get me started because I don't know the level of hydration that I'm going to have whenever something happens. I don't know where I'm going to be, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's just enough to get myself going. This is good for about 2 days. They recommend you don't drink more than 2 to 3 packets in a day, so this is like a day, day and a half. 2 in an absolute emergency if I don't have a lot of access to water, if it happens to be a dry few days. Alright, now we're finally moving deeper into my pack. We're going 1 level down from the top of the pack, moving into that middle package. That's about 12 and a half inches long. It holds a good amount of stuff. It's not completely packed because I wanted some space, so I didn't worry about crushing this or my first aid kit. Okay, this is the Sawyer Products mini water filter. I've already taken it out. This is one I've used before, and I have cleaned it and sanitized it. And I have it now double bagged to keep it a little bit more safe and protected. Next, I have a small first aid kit. This is very, very minor stuff that it can handle. It's for skin irritations. There's like little pieces of Benadryl, lots of band-aids, some bacitracin, just minimal stuff to get myself patched up in a very small situation. There's not a lot here. If I require immediate medical attention, well, I'm probably screwed anyway, but at least this will help give me a chance in that situation. Now, being in the military, there's quite a few things that I can use out in the field. Being a former military member, I can use some of the first aid kit, some of the stuff in the survival kit, and other things on my pack to give myself a fighting chance if I do cause a severe ankle sprain, something of that nature that really debilitates your ability to be effective getting yourself home and surviving without any help. Next, I have this really massive survival grenade survival kit from Zaps Survival Gear. I have not done a review on this yet, but this thing is loaded full of goodies. And I wanted to take this because it gives me a lot of additional cordage. It's about 45 feet of additional cordage, and we all know you can't have enough cordage. So, and I have a paracord belt as well. So I'll have about 245 feet of paracord all made any given day. But inside this kit, there are some snare traps. There is an emergency fishing kit. There are some additional water purification tablets. There's a bunch of goodies in here. I will go over that in the review, but you'll understand completely why I have this in there. It's an incredible kit. If you want to look into this before my review comes out on this, definitely go check him out. I'm going to put a link in the description box below. Like I said, I'm going to put a list of all this stuff that I've got to the best of my ability, so you guys can check out and look into the stuff that I chose for my get-home bag. And finally, I have the SOS Food Rations. This is a 3-day supply. It is roughly 410 calories per biscuit, and there's 9. So do you know how much that is? That's a lot of calories, bro. That's a lot of calories. That's 3,600 calories. This is just enough to get you by for the first few days without having to worry about going hunting, but if it takes longer, that's why I have the emergency fishing kit and the snare traps to help supplement this in a situation. Just to prove I'm not lying before I get into this last section, all of this does fit in the pack. Alright guys, now this is the final area of the pack. It was very hard to see, but all of this does fit in the pack. Swear to God, it doesn't look like it does, but I can smush it down and make it work. And it doesn't destroy anything. It really doesn't mess with anything. This stuff actually isn't on top. I have it sandwiched between these two, so it doesn't damage the pack itself. Now, going over everything piece by piece, I have one single pair of Carhartt work gloves. These are my go-to gloves. I've got 2 pair of these now, and they work really, really well, and they have not let me down yet. Next, I have a fire retardant or fire resistant wool rescue blanket designed to help keep me warm or keep me off the ground when I'm having to camp and sleep overnight. I am not against. I don't have like a big huge like pad or mat to sleep on, unfortunately, but I wouldn't be against finding like leaves or local foliage to cushion my descent, to kind of keep some of the moisture that could potentially be on the ground or even the snow in a really bad situation. Next, I have a Bahco Laplander folding saw. It's very famous. I think almost everyone knows about this tool. But I really like it because it gives me an additional option to process wood and get a shelter designed and set up if I need it, without having to rigorously kick my own ass by chopping constantly. Moving on, we have the Mora Camp Axe, and I really like this axe. It is made of boron steel. I'm assuming it's a carbon steel, because I've had this in really crappy elements and weather, and it's not rusted at all. And the edge is still wicked sharp. It's about 1/4 inch thick. It's a really nice, useful hatchet. I like it because of the high visibility orange and the little rig I have set up as very ergonomic, grippy design, and it's extremely lightweight. And finally, I have something that it hit me when I was at the home improvement store looking for tarp and tent stakes and stuff like that, and it just kind of hit me. I don't want to carry around a big hammer pommeled tool, something really, really heavy, and potentially damage the stakes or anything of that nature. So I decided to use these, which are those little dog leash, little holding spike things that, you know, you pin them in the ground and you turn them. They go about 16 inches in the ground and you're good to go. Well, these are actually stronger than tent stakes because they pull up a lot of soil and dirt with them before they come up. I keep the tip protector on them so they won't poke through my pack. I've got a nice strong stainless steel connector piece where I can use those carabiners I have to latch onto the tarp. And this gives me a good firm handle in virtually any weather condition to wrench these down and use them. Now, they are a little bit more expensive than a tent stake, but they are far more durable, beefier, and I probably will have a very, very hard chance and very, very hard time breaking them out in the field. Now, instead of using the Bahco Laplander folding saw, the Mora Camp Axe, probably my next go-to set of tools would be the SCHF10 by Schrade and the Chainmate Survival Chainsaw, which, yeah, this one's still wrapped up in its pack, but it's like a 24-inch carbon steel like chainsaw blade with really sturdy straps on them. And reason why I would pick these over the Bahco is because they fit up really, really small. You could literally just stick this in your pocket and probably just take it with you anyway, so you don't have to worry about if anything happens. Alternatively, you could use something like the SCX5. It's a really hardcore breaching tool and camp hatchet if you need it. But alternatively, there's plenty of other choices out there. There's camp axes they sell at Walmart. It doesn't have to be a survival tool. Just use something that you can afford, that you trust, that you have a fair amount of confidence that will be reliable for you, and do what you are comfortable with. This is merely a breakdown and a list of my personal get-home bag, what I choose to carry. I provided you guys with a few alternatives of some stuff that I would additionally trust as well, and basically it's what I have in my collection still. And, well, that does it for now. I really hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown, review, and full breakdown of my get-home bag today. And drop down into the comments below and tell me your thoughts on my kit, any suggestions you might have, comments, concerns, anything of that nature. And if you have the time and feel free or care enough, go ahead and drop in what you have in your get-home bag. And I'd be more than happy to send some messages back and forth and do any conversating of that nature. Well, like I said, that's it for now. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm out.